annoying.
Dad, you can't just eat soggy fries from the takeout container. You have to crisp them in the oven first.
Judgmental.
I thought lesbians were good at solving crimes. It's like the one positive stereotype perpetuated by cop shows.
Condescending.
Your dad is a high school guidance counselor, the lowest form of therapist.
These are all words I would use to describe the main character in HBO's new show, Velma. Named accordingly, Velma. It is an often forgotten rule of stories that the main character or the protagonist has to be likable for the story to be good. This is a misconception. People have varying definitions of what it means to be a good show or good story or good movie, but I like to think of a good show as something that keeps me wanting more, keeps me coming back. And before it's asked, yes, I agree, Velma is a totally unlikable character. She's awful, she's horrible, and she is almost impossible to relate to. But what keeps me coming back to HBO's Velma is the possibility that I get to watch her suffer. That's right. I keep coming back to HBO's Velma because I want to watch bad things happen to this awful character. I want to watch her fall down. I want to watch her lose the thing. I want to watch her friends all walk away from her. I want to watch the school laugh at her. These are things I want to see happen because they have written such an unlikable, disgusting character. If viewership is currency, and viewership is what the creators of this show were after, then they have certainly surpassed their goal, which is influencing more and more people to gather around and bear witness to the spectacle that is HBO's Velma. Now, like I said, I agree with all the critiques of this show. Velma is very unlikable. Some of the characters are completely unrecognizable as far as their characterization goes. The plot is weird and contrived. I watched the first 2 episodes after seeing people's reaction to them and hearing just how bad these 2 episodes were. That sparked within me, as well as a lot of other people, curiosity to witness the turmoil firsthand. So I watched the first 2 episodes to see how bad the show was. I watched the 3rd episode to watch bad things happen to Velma. And you're lying if you disagree, but the animation is top notch. It's interesting, it's bright, it's vibrant, it's colorful, and it's smooth. All of these things, along with natural human curiosity, brought me back to my chair, to HBO Max, to watch episode 3 of Velma. And I must say it did not disappoint. I was in fact able to watch bad things happen to Velma.
I think I got it. Drugs are like crack to these people.
Let's talk about the characters. So one of the main problems some people have with this show is the swapped races. They don't understand why. They don't get it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Scooby-Doo was perfectly functional with an all-white cast. Yes, it was. While I don't really understand the point in swapping the races, I do see for the narrative that Velma being Indian does kind of add a little extra depth into the plot. I mean, if Velma was white, she wouldn't be able to make fun of white people now, would she? I do think the race swapping makes the show a bit more interesting. And well, I mean, by the sheer amount of people who tuned in to this premiere of Velma, I think the race swapping did what it was supposed to do. Create buzz, draw in an audience. So above all else, I think it's an interesting change. I think Velma's an awful person. I think she's terrible. She's annoying, she takes everything for granted, she's judgmental, she often speaks before thinking. I don't know who in their right mind, I don't know who on the planet who isn't a sociopath can relate to Velma. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if this series ends with Velma being the killer herself. I wouldn't be surprised if Velma killed her mom, whom she's looking for, and she's brainless in the basement of their house or something. With how antisocial and not well adjusted Velma is to basic interactions with kids in her grade, I don't think this is a far-fetched theory.
Cutties. Mother, Cutties.
Fred is completely unrecognizable in this show. What used to be a strong, competent, resourceful, manly leader is now a whoopified ook shota anime character. The entire first 3 episodes, he's mocked and scapegoated for the perceived hate of white people. I can't imagine anyone sitting at home watching this show, hearing some of the things Velma says and being like, you go girl, you show him, you show that white boy. Honestly, it's tired, it's uncomical, and it's just disrespectful. On to Norville, not Shaggy. Now, he's a character completely turned on his head. Not only does he not resemble Shaggy in the slightest, not only can he not even be used to emulate Shaggy in any way besides his outfit, but he's anti-drug, super competent, and just a complete 180 of the character we're used to.
But won't looking for my camera trigger your potentially fatal hallucinations? Though saving a friend from death would make for a great college essay.
To me, Daphne has one of the least insulting changes. I don't really understand the Asian race swap. Not that I understand any of the race swaps, really. But she looks exactly the same to me. The only real difference with her character that I've noticed as far as personality goes, Daphne used to be kind of witty. She's calm and she's witty in the original hashings of Scooby-Doo. Now she's bitchy. She's bitchy, and I see her as this woke, super female, never going to be the damsel in distress. Just like how it looks in the Mario movies, how Princess Peach is responsible for her own destiny, probably not going to be a damsel in distress at all, even though that's the whole premise of the game. Anyway. For the people who have been saying that these characters are shitty for now, but they're going to have their own arcs to become closer to the characters we know and love today, I mean, it's not like there's some magic race swap machine where Velma's suddenly going to become white or Shaggy, but I do think that what they're going for is character arcs where the characters become closer and closer to the characters from back in our parents' time. Because Scooby-Doo is supposed to be fun. Scooby-Doo is about chemistry between the characters. A group of friends solving mysteries together. Not a group of weird relationships and weird sexual tension, bi-energy, and whatnot. It was never what it is now. So I think the idea behind this show is start with this drastic, complete difference to the characters you know and love, and show you progressively what changes them into the characters that could ultimately work together and solve mysteries and be friends and high-five each other. And eventually, who knows, maybe we'll even meet Scooby-Doo at the end. Maybe Scooby-Doo is going to be that one thing that really brings them all together. A couple days ago, I made a tweet saying that HBO's Velma is the ugly twin sister of Netflix's Wednesday. And by that I mean, they both have the outcasted girl who has visions and powers and everybody thinks she's weird and she has snarky, sassy remarks. They both have characters that involve that. Now, something HBO's Velma can do in its first season that Netflix's Wednesday doesn't do is give character development. Where Wednesday ends with her not really understanding how her actions hurt people, or yes, being able to understand, but not really being able to change who she is as a person for the better. Maybe Velma can actually show that Velma realizes that she's being a big bitch and that everyone hates her. Now, it seems that that's what's happening. In episode 4, she does sort of come to the realization, hey, everybody hates me. She comes to the realization that she has been over-judgmental about people, about women. Maybe she'll even confront her bias against white people. I'll probably continue watching this series because I still want to see bad things happen to her until she learns to be better. And I do think that's the direction that they're taking this series in. Having Velma fall on her face a few times until she learns that, hey, this may be the Velma show, but I'm going to be the only person in it if I don't learn to not be a jackass. And I just overall think all of the characters are going to get their own arcs. Like we already see in the 4th episode that Fred is learning to appreciate women for who they are inside instead of just looks. He seems like he's grown mentally 10 years from the 1st episode to the 4th. It looks like in the next coming episode that Norville is going to find a different girl. Who knows, maybe further down the line he's going to turn into a pothead and consequently turn into that Shaggy that everyone knows and loves. And Daphne, well, maybe Daphne's just going to be a little bit more softer, I guess. I don't know. Some sort of character regression. I don't know. But yeah, I surely will continue watching, and not because I'm interested in the mystery of who's killing who or whatever. I think that mystery is kind of poorly done. We don't really care about that. I'm just in it to watch bad shit happen to a terrible character. That's the video. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. Really make some noise in the comments if you want more videos like this, because, I don't know, I usually just talk about anime. So if you want more content like this, leave some likes, leave some comments, and make sure you're subscribing. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next video. Let me know if you want episode by episode reviews of this show, because I'm in it. It's like a train wreck, guys. I can't keep my eyes away from it. It's like I cannot separate my eyes from the screen. When I heard that the next 2 episodes are out, I literally rushed to watch them. That's just the human brain though, right? Where our eyes are drawn to beautiful things, masterpieces, and absolute train wrecks. And this just so happens to be a train wreck that I can't peel my gaze away from.